Welcome, everybody, to Kayfabe Wrestling Talk. This is where you come to hear how wrestling should be talked about. I am Handsome Nick Hanlon, and we haven't seen you in a while because life gets in the way. Barnaby will be back. He's got stuff going on. I had stuff going on, but I'm going to be back posting weekly, maybe 2 a week, one for Raw, one for SmackDown. But hey, like and subscribe if you like our opinions. Usually mine's right and yours is wrong. That's normal. If you haven't watched Raw yet, spoiler, but if you haven't watched Raw yet and you're watching this, that's really strange. So that's on you. Either way, like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Make a comment so I can tell you how wrong you are and how right I am. Kayfabe Wrestling Talk is back in business, y'all. March 25th, 2026, Monday Night Raw. We're going to start with a chaotic one. And obviously, since we've talked, all the world is right again. Cody Rhodes is champion. I know that's not a Raw thing, but I should bring that up. Cody Rhodes gets the belt. Drew McIntyre is a very bitter man. We'll talk about what happens next time we see SmackDown. Obviously, Fatu wants to kill him now. That's a great feud. I can't wait to see that with Cody Rhodes fighting Randy Orton and Randy Orton losing his mind. He is now in business. The rattlesnake is back. And maybe he's going to kill another legend because Cody's kind of getting there to legend. So just kill the legend before he's a legend. Either way, we're not talking about SmackDown. We're talking about Monday Night Raw. And Raw starts with Cowboy Brock Lesnar coming down to the ring, not happy, hopping around. The only one to hold NCAA champion, a UFC champion, and a WWE champion. He is the most decorated combat sports athlete in history, and he's back on Raw and not happy because of Obafemi. You know, Paul Heyman hops on and lists some folks that tried to take Brock Lesnar out. Dean Ambrose gets name dropped. The other guy, the bald guy, shiny guy, Lashley, they talk about him and says Obafemi's name will now be part of that list of people that tried to stop him after WrestleMania. Notice Heyman did not mention Cody Rhodes, as Cody Rhodes did beat him twice clean. That being said, Brock Lesnar gets taken down again by Obafemi. Obafemi gets one over on Brock Lesnar, and it's not too often you see Brock Lesnar get taken advantage of twice by somebody stronger and bigger and much younger. This is going to be an interesting match at WrestleMania. I can't wait to see these two collide and the shockwave come off it. I don't know. Is it going to be the main event? Maybe it should be the main event. I know we got championships. They co-main event stuff, but that's going to be a big match if they can pull it off. I love big men matches when they're done right. They're just not always done right. That being said, Brock Lesnar gets taken down, and another loss for poor old Mr. Paul Heyman, who's really taken his lumps the last few months. He had quite a run, though, quite a few years. But this Vision thing, man, it really started a downturn. Speaking of the Vision, we got the Vision versus the Uso brothers, what's left of the Vision anyway. I don't know how the Vision's going to pull itself together out of the dust they're now laying in. I mean, with Logan Paul, I can see it. That guy can do anything with anything. He's kind of the modern day Miz. Give him something, he's going to make it worse. Make it better. Somebody that makes things worse. Tyson Fury, his tag team partner, an excitement sucker, great wrestler. Just the talk. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to recoup after this. Either way, idiot, of course, because he's an attention whore and a terrible person, interferes. Logan Paul was just adjusting some things, and somehow LA Knight got some brass knuckles or something, throws him to Jey Uso. Jey Uso is now going to the dark side because he just knocks everybody out in the Vision, right in front of the ref. He says everybody's got to get theirs. Jey Uso is on a tear lately, and I love it. Jey Uso is the Jey Uso that Jey Uso should have been before Jey Uso was acting like Jey Uso with the eating and this thing and all that stuff. Jey Uso is a bad man, and he's going to do some bad things. Knocking everybody out. It does put the Vision in there for a number one contendership, I would assume, or as we see later on. That being said, Jey Uso loses it for the Usos with the Vision getting a win. Here comes the man, Becky Lynch. Becky says AJ claim to fame is building up the Diva era. Well, Becky says she murdered the Diva era. You know, Becky's not so happy because she went home one day and her daughter was listening to AJ's music, skipping around. Becky no likey. It really reminds me of a great Eddie Guerrero promo where he talks about seeing The Rock's poster and he hit his kid. I mean, Becky didn't hit her kid on this instant, but it really reminded me of that promo. Such a good promo. AJ comes down. I was going to say AJ Styles. AJ, the lady, comes down. AJ is so annoying. She has not evolved at all. She's been gone for 10 years. She's the same, just not as good as a wrestler. Somehow she got the belt off of Becky. She knows how to pull it out. I'm not saying she can't wrestle at all, but she's not up to par. She knows how to get a win, though. I gotta hand it to her. Becky says AJ won't have to quit after WrestleMania like she did last time she competed because Becky's just gonna take her out. She's gonna save her the walk to the manager's office because they're gonna have to roll her there on a stretcher, according to Becky. We're going to see a great match, you know, and then after seeing the Usos chatting with Roman Reigns backstage, I think we're going to see some Samoans get back together. I mean, we got a little clip of that. I don't like to get too much into the backstage clips because there's so many of them. But we got a match coming up. A couple of youngins, Javon Evans versus Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller's been on the scene for a little while. He can never get out of whoever's shadow he's with, it seems like. I don't know why. He's with the New Day, and the New Day won't accept him. He was with Tyson, and that didn't work out. What do they? Grayson Waller needs to maybe change his direction. Great wrestler, great on the mic. Javon Evans, honestly, probably the future of wrestling. Really. If he can change his style a bit so he doesn't fly off everything and stay at the hospital, he needs to slow that down a little bit. That being said, he's got that it thing, and his moves unbelievable. The air he gets, and this is a good match. This is a competitive match. Great move from Grayson Waller, like an inverted unprettier, which was a really cool. This is actually probably Javon Evans' first competitive fight. Everything's pretty much him just squashing. Hard hitting, high flying, a really great showing for both these guys. Javon hits that OG cutter. He had a move earlier too. Just the height this guy gets, he's almost hitting the scoreboards. It's incredible. Now, if he would just smarten up and join the New Day, he might get somewhere, and maybe they can tell him to calm down and change his style a little bit because he definitely needs that kind of leadership. Oh, and here, this, like I mentioned, Paul Heyman requests a street fight against the Vision for tag team title match at Square Gardens, and then Nick Aldis forces him to go to the ring and talk about Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman is a very stressed out man. He didn't want to do it. He seems exhausted, really, from all the he's just taken a pounding recently. But he heads to the ring. It's his time to talk about Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman says he's having a very bad night. He's really pissed off. He just called out Seth Rollins so he can just put him out of his misery. Interestingly enough, he says, I'm a man. I deal with my stuff like a man. And when Seth Rollins comes out, the cops arrest him because men in Paul Heyman's family do paperwork and get restraining orders and rat people out. Paul Heyman outsmarts the visionary who's heading to jail for who knows how long. A year, 2 years? I don't know. He's probably got some good lawyers. We'll see what happens. Funny enough, Paul Heyman made a little joke. If he's in jail too long, don't worry, he'll take care of his wife and his children. Seth kind of got upset about that for some reason. He can't handle just words or whatever. So he broke away from the cops to beat up Paul Heyman a little more. And Paul Heyman liked that because that definitely upped the charges for Boston's finest, arresting Seth Rollins right there in the spot. Beautiful thing. Now we go to the Kabuki Warriors versus Bayley and Lyra. Valkyria. These four women can wrestle better than pretty much anybody on the roster. I can watch these guys all night. Lyra's Nightwing ends the match, giving Bayley some hope that she'll be fighting in WrestleMania. What a competitive match. Lyra and Bayley have been great team together. I want to see Bayley flip out a little more. I mean, she was really flipping out a lot. I really enjoyed that. She's been keeping her cool a little bit. I don't know if she does some meds maybe. I don't know. Either way, they got the match. And Bayley's belly to I don't know if it was ass guy, I forget which one, onto the announce table. She hit that so hard, everything jumped. Bayley is power. Bayley is underestimated right now. She wants to make it to WrestleMania. She wants to fight for the championship. She's just also, after winning this match, challenged the immovable objects, the irresistible object, the immovable, the Lash Legend and Nia Jax team. And I'm assuming if they beat them at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world, she'll obviously get a title shot, is kind of what she's thinking. Match set up at Madison Square Gardens. I Show Speed. Apparently he's very famous. Million followers. Danhausen thought it was 108 followers. Fortunately, IO Speed wouldn't give Danhausen his password. I don't know why. Danhausen's the most charismatic superstar in the roster right now. He's probably going to the Hall of Fame this year. Great marketing. I don't know why Mr. Speed or iShow or whatever his name is, just give him the password. He's going to make everybody money, including yourself. But he wouldn't give it to him, so he's cursed, and he disappears. Now, I saw some TikTok clips and stuff that where iShow Speed was going to race Danhausen, so Danhausen lifts the curse, but if Danhausen wins, he gets the password to his TikTok. Danhausen is magic. He won. He was bored waiting for Mr. Speed to get there and finish the race. He won fair and square. Nobody said no magic. So he's going to be able to get his password, and he's also still cursed. Danhausen, future champion, easily. Little clip in the back. EOS guy trying to look tough, talking to Raquel Rodriguez was one of the cutest things I've ever seen. I just wanted to say that. Stephanie Valkyrie attacks poor old Liv Morgan as they're trying to come down and support Dominic for his match, and Liv didn't take so kindly of it. They ended up fighting a gorilla. They ended up getting torn apart. Liv Morgan was screaming like a banshee. She looked like she wanted to kill. Liv Morgan's ready. Valkyrie better not be underestimating her. I know Valkyrie is very, very talented. She, Dragon Kiss is the greatest move of all time, but the greatest thing in wrestling is Liv Morgan's pants. So we'll just have to see what happens. So obviously she can't accompany poor Dominic to the ring. I'm surprised they didn't reschedule Dominic's match, because going through that, he'd be very triggered for Dominic. He's just a young man. He just saw his girlfriend get attacked. He also got attacked. I don't see how the GM's not rescheduling this match, but the match moves forward, and Dominic was very, very aggressive in this match. He's already one of the greatest of all time. He's just getting better and better. You got the Mikashubi driver. I can't say that properly. This match is all Dom until Finn Balor, of course, interfered, distracts him. Penta hits the Mexican Destroyer and wins the match and retains. All Finn Balor's fault. Finn Balor is a sore loser. He lost all his friends. He might have interrupted the greatest match of all time. We'll never know, because Finn Balor just stepped on that match's neck. Jimmy Uso, before Punk goes out for his main event promo, I guess you'll call it, just lets him know, you might want to be careful because Jay is on the Warpath. Punk doesn't care. And Punk was having a great night when he went out there. He was shaking everybody's hands, hugging the announcers, hugging everybody. Looks like he's having a time of his life. Huge, huge pop for Punk. I never thought that Punk would be happy. He's never been happy. So it's nice to see him happy. I can't wait till he's more happy and he, gets a little. We all know he wants to turn on somebody, but right now he's having a great time. Good old man Punk, as we like to call him. Reminds me of Old Man Logan from that movie. Logan, huge pop for Punk, unbelievably popular. And he's really instigating the Samoan, saying, just come and get me. And he's mentioned that, since Roman put out a hit on his head with all the Samoan family, he's had zero issues with any Samoan. He also mentions that, Roman really bothered him from calling him old, but then he realized, yeah, I'm old and I'm proud of it. I'm getting better with my age. I don't have to cover up my grays like Roman does with his Just for Men. Punk says he's middle-aged and crazy, just like Terry Funk. Love it. Punk also said that once all the grease and oil and jizz that Roman Reigns puts on before the match dries up, he's going to beat him down. Jizz? I wonder if that line will get cut from the Netflix replay. Either way, Joel calls out the fact that Roman's not there. Boom. Here comes Roman. What a great promo. So far, I did not think we were going to get OTC. The Usos were out there. They're arguing. Here comes OTC. But Jey Uso is getting so mean lately. I love it. This is how Jey Uso should have been the whole time. Basically, orders, they were going to leave. They were done. Roman Reigns obviously, punched CM Punk and took him down and just left. But Jey Uso orders the OTC to get back in there and finish the job. He did. He kicked the crap out of him. Laying on the ground on top of that announce table was CM Punk, laughing his head off after getting power bombed, after getting beaten up, laughing his head off. He said, I don't need help. That guy needs help. He got in his head. CM Punk is winning the promo battle. Last week, Roman had it. This week, Punk, it's 2-1 right now. We'll have to see what happens next week with their promotion battle. Great Raw. Chaotic. There could have been more matches. The ending was amazing with Punk coming down, Usos coming down, Reigns coming down, everybody, just chaos. And I love chaos. We need more chaos. This is why I like Punk, because he might pretend to be a good guy, but he's always going to cause trouble. CM Punk. He's a punk. I love you, Phil. Like and subscribe. Check us out after I watch SmackDown. Let me know what you think. Hopefully Barnaby will be back soon. Matthew Barnaby, the man with the plan, he'll be back soon. So you don't have to just listen to me ramble on. And obviously, I missed a couple things like the Usos, Roman Reigns punching Punk. Anyway, the whole order was there. You saw it. This is just me excited about seeing a good Raw. There's been a couple bad months there, but I think we're all recovering from last year's Cena run still. And things are getting really good now. They had to recover over the Cena retirement bullshit that they put up with for that year. They got some money out of it, but it was derailed everything. Before the Cena stuff, wrestling was at an all-time high. I mean, WrestleMania 40, I mean, we were rolling. And then Cena comes and ruins 41. But anyway, we'll see what happens at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. We'll see what happens at SmackDown next week. Make sure you like and subscribe. Handsome Nick Hanlon here. Kayfabe Wrestling Talk. This is where you come to hear how wrestling should be talked about.